and welcome to Women of Power Next Door TV show. I'm your host, Deb Bailey. Once again, we're glad that you're here with us. I've got my good friend, Odette Laurie, with us today. Odette, good morning. How are you?
Good morning. Happy Halloween.
Yes, it is, isn't it? And it's raining here, so it's
Yeah,
perfect weather for the kids.
absolutely. And the moms have got to take them.
Yes, my days are over. I'm just Nana, and I just pass out the candy now. So, well, welcome to the show. We're excited that you're here. Can you tell the watching audience a little bit about yourself and what you do?
Well, I'm a business coach for entrepreneurs that really want to take their business to a 6 or a 7-figure business. And I mean, make it a sustainable business, one that's really consistent in the cash flow, that really services their clients and really gets them to live into the life that they want to live.
Wonderful. Wow. Well, do you happen to have maybe a trick or two or a tip or two for the watching audience that could maybe unstuck us? Because I know a lot of women, especially, we get this idea, this great business started, and we get to a level and we get stuck.
Well, I wrote a guide when I first started Women on Top. I wrote a guide called How Big Is Your Butt? The 7 Ways We Sabotage Our Own Success. All too often, we really do care more about the size of our rear end than we do about what's in our future. So I wrote this guide based on all my excuses and justifications and foolish reasoning, and came up with 7 of them. And there, a couple of them are: we compare our success to others and find ourselves lacking, or we're afraid of being judged. We think that we're not good enough. That's kind of mine, that rears its ugly head every now and again. And we're resistant to change. And what these big buts, these excuses do, is stop us from doing the things that we absolutely have to do in our business. And whether it be picking up that 100-pound phone, going out to the networking event when we're tired and really don't feel like it. So many of us sort of hide behind our chores, our children's activities and things like that, to say, oh, we can't do that because, but really it's because you're sitting on your big butt and not doing the things that you need to do. And it's a tough road, right? Building a business.
It is. And, I think, too, one of the biggest challenges I've always had in 5 years running my own business is I've had to wear so many hats. And sometimes I
Yeah.
wasn't trained in that area, and I kind of winged it to find out what worked and what didn't work. But, I sit back and think if I would have known ahead of time, maybe I wouldn't have wasted so much of my time and my energy. I think that's one of the biggest things I've learned.
Yeah. Well, the reason why I started coaching was I had a business back in 1993. I started when I was 27, and it was in Canada's worst economic housing crisis, similar to what you guys have just experienced in the States. And I had a really, what I call the silly idea, and we turned it into $1 million business purely based on determination and motivation and a lot of hard work. But the number one thing that we did right from the get-go was we got help, because I didn't know how to start a business. I sure as heck didn't know how to run one. So we got coached, we got trained. And one of the reasons when I decided to get on to Women on Top was, if I can be successful, anybody can be successful. You just need some help. And
Right.
so the programs that I do with my clients are based on 3 things: mindset, marketing, and money. If you can blow up those 3 areas of your business, get help in those 3 areas, and your business has nowhere to go but up.
Right, right. How hard do you find it for women clients, especially, to say, "Hey, I need help"? Is that something that women are kind of shy away from, or is it something that women say, "You know what, I really need some help," and go for it? I know it for me, it was a little tough pill to swallow, maybe.
Yeah. Well, I think that's an excuse and a justification. Oh, I don't need help. But what it stems from is the fear of really going out and making it something that a priority for you. Women hide behind their children, their spouses, their excuses. Let's face it, it's not just now. I mean, we're coming out of this, but we were always second or third or fourth in the family or in the hierarchy.
Right.
And that was great at the time, but now we need to step up and own what it is that we want to create for our lives. And in fact, what I really encourage clients, or when I'm out speaking, is that we're doing this for ourselves, but we're a role model to our children, our grandchildren, or whoever, but there are people looking up to us. So when we don't step into our greatness, when we don't do what we're supposed to do in this world, There's people that are watching us. So it's very hypocritical for us to say to our children, go out, go, give it a shot, try, do your best, be determined, be hardworking, when we're not doing that for ourselves.
Right.
And then comes up that fear of money. Money and women, that relationship is one of poverty or a lack mindset, as opposed to the Martha Stewarts of the world or whatever, right? We look at them and go, oh, they just make so much money and they must have a bad home life or whatever we judge.
Hmm.
But it's really sexy to be powerful and make a lot of money and still have a great family.
Right, right. Yeah, it's a hard balance. When my children were younger, I didn't ever think about going into my own business because I was so, I guess, dedicated to them. But as they grew up, the first thing I thought of is, okay, it's Deb time. When is it my turn to do what I've always had a passion for? And so I started my business 5 years ago. Now my kids are
Right.
grown up and starting their own family, and it's I can focus more on what I need and what I have and where I want to go with my business and looking back over 5 years and seeing the transitions and the different levels of business, I think sometimes is a reward for how long you've worked in the business and how great of achievements you've made.
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely.
Wonderful. I know too, and I've had conversations about this before, and you brought it up, and that is the relationship with money. I had a lady that I spoke with here, about a month or so ago, who
Mhm.
who reads facial expressions, and she told me, she said, by my face features and my body language, and I just sent her a picture, so it wasn't video or anything, and she told me, she said, you go through money very quickly, and that freaked me out because I do. I can make tons of money and be broke in 24 hours. But I pay bills and go out and spend. I don't hold on to anything, and I think that was an eye awakener, for me. And I stepped back and thought, wow, how weird was that? That a total stranger knew something about me with money.
Yeah. Well, women's relationship with money is generally about, the money is a secondary income. The money is just gravy money. It's the vacation money, rather than just being the power money. I mean, we don't charge what we're worth. We
Oh,
don't take a look at our
absolutely.
skills and everything. We compile them, and I had to go through that when I had a very successful seven-figure business, and I sold it about 10 years ago. I embarked on a new journey back into the social services. I found myself after I'd gone back to school, and I have a degree, a diploma, a seven-figure business. I've got money in the bank, and I ended up working for a not-for-profit, making $18 an hour. And that's a real tough pill to swallow. And what happened was my self-esteem and everything kind of went really lower. And I was like, I started to believe that that was all that it was I wanted, because it was
Right.
passion before profits. And when I wasn't able to take care of myself just based on that salary and my two children, I thought, this is ridiculous. Like, my daughter now, who's 16, makes 12 or 14 an hour as in the restaurant she works at. So that's crazy stuff. So that's when I decided enough is enough. Let's really pull out the woman on top and spread the news, because if I'm feeling like this and I'm pretty determined and motivated, other women have got to be feeling like that, and they need this. They need someone to help pull them up the ranks.
Right. Right. Wonderful. Well, Odette, we're about at the end of our show, and I want to make sure that everybody knows where can they go and find out about you and your coaching services. And do you do coaching services worldwide then?
I do, absolutely, and I love doing that. I have my website is businesswomenontop.com, so it's plural, and I have a book called Profit Domination: How Successful Women Get on Top and Stay on Top, and a workbook now that I just finished the other day. So it's a home study system, as well as a couple of coaching programs that are really phenomenal. I have one that I'm launching. It's a group coaching program. It's a 6-month program. It's a combination of, for those that are starting out in business or that are in the middle of the business but really just want to take their business up a couple of notches.
Hmm.
And it's called the Profit Domination Club. So if you want to get more information, businesswomenontop.com. Contact me. It's Odette at businesswomenontop.com, and I'd love to help you.
Wonderful. Well, Odette, thank you so much for joining me this morning. I appreciate your time.
Thank you.
Absolutely.
You have a great Halloween.
You too. Thank you.
Bye.
Ladies, this has been your host, Deb Bailey, with the Women of Power Next Door TV show. Until next time, have a great Halloween and a terrific weekend. See you soon.